Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So the much awaited garden video, maybe not much awaited, I don't know. I got a couple comments on the AMA I just did, the live VC that I do on Fridays, and somebody mentioned the garden, and I do recall on a couple videos I said I was going to cover it. I wasn't going to, even though I said I was, because there's not much to cover. Like, I don't really know what to tell you guys or what information you're looking for, but I'll try to unpack some of it and maybe it'll provide some value for you. So TLDR, garden is still here. Garden still works. Nothing has changed on the garden, nor have there been any rumblings of changing anything on the garden. So Drip BUSD, the LP pair, will still be Drip BUSD. Even though Binance is phasing it out, it will still have liquidity on the dexes. Like, that doesn't go anywhere. They're still going to be paired. It's not going to depeg. Even if it does, due to some kind of black swan event, the assets that they keep to support BUSD will still be there. So long story short, there's nothing that needs to change for the garden. Now, as of recently, we have seen, due to the lack of development or price appreciation of Drip, we see the garden is suffering just like everything else in the ecosystem. So we're not at an all-time low for the contract balance, but we are getting close from where we launched it at 150,000, and we're sitting at 180,000 in the contract balance now. So I don't know what this spells for the future, but you should know that by now the way the garden works is you're putting in LP pairs of Drip and BUSD paired together. And as of right now, there's currently no Drip liberation contract for you to do that tax-free. So you can do it manually over on PancakeSwap, but you get charged a tax. We had this contract that is no longer available because the domain expired, that you could pair Drip and BUSD together, and that would do it with no tax. So if that doesn't come about, then I don't see any incentive for people to lock up Drip and put it into the garden. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that the garden will continue to drain the contract balance, unless BB, if you're not familiar, he's the one that supposedly is in charge of the contract and has the keys. So unless he decides to do something with this, if not, it will just continue to drain. Now, the interesting fact about the garden, though, is it continues to drain, but this mechanic that was built in. So this means that it operates in a more sustainable way than your typical miner. The point being that if you get in now, you're getting much more buying power than someone who got in before. And to take a look at that, let's look over at Dune. I think this is still up to date. I really don't know, but you're seeing people with, this is 111 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, million, billion, trillion, 100 trillion, 111 trillion plants. That is insane. Now, you might ask yourself, like, what does that cost to get there? I can show you on my account what I have. So right now for me, I have 568 billion. So I'm not even at, I'm just over under half a trillion plants. And this was from, I want to say I started my garden with $6,500 or something like that. I can't really remember, but to get to that now would only take about 30 LPs. 30 LPs at today's prices, when the LP price is about 60 cents. So that, it's basically less than $30 to get there. Let's put it that way. Well, less than $30. So it is always advantageous to buy LPs and get into the garden if you like the 3% kind of gamble play. Now, I can't say you're actually going to make any money or ROI on this at all, but just this piece is very interesting compared to other miners and stuff out there. So this person in first place that bought 78,000 LPs, even at today's prices, if you were to buy those, let's see, 618 times 0.59, it's still $46,000. That's not anything to shake a stick at, but 78,000 LPs probably at today, it would get you way more plants than this. So I actually ran some of the numbers myself here, if that would be the case. So right now, to get 113 trillion plants, it's only about $3,000. You need 5,000 LPs and it's about $3 grand. So, and that will get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as the contract continues. Now, I don't know if there's some kind of equilibrium or breaking point on the contract. Like, can this still continue to get to be fractions of a penny? Like at some stage, the solidity number value would come into play. It's up to 18 decimal places. So a plant costs this much. That's the price of a plant per LP if you were to divide those two. And the 18th decimal place is the 5. So we still got a little ways to go before, I guess, you just solidity can't factor it, or I don't know how that's going to happen. So that will be something some other deeper dive mathematicians need to look into and tell me how that actually works, developers and stuff like that, because there is a number of decimal places that solidity can support, or that a token address supports. I believe it's 18. I think that's all ERC20 token contracts. But again, I could be wrong. But as of right now, we have 10 zeros in front of the 2. So until whatever that mathematical inflection point is, you will always have a cheaper opportunity to get into the garden. And at some stage, I would imagine it breaks. I don't know, but as of right now, you still got a little room and could ROI, could make some money. It's, you know, cheap to get in and get started. Like I said, $3,000 takes you to the first place. This is still like a decent chunk of money, but way more money went into drip. And I can't say what you'll get out of your garden at that amount, but it is interesting to say the least. Now, one other thing to shine the light on or highlight is that, again, whoever owns the contract, there is developmental money in the contract. So we were told from Forex that he, quote unquote, gave the contract to BB. And as of right now, there's $2.12 million sitting in this contract. And prior to that, these are the transactions. There's only 15. This date is December 21st, 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Close, December 16th, 2021. And this is when this first got started. And if you look at these transactions, you'll see that there was money being moved: 54,000, 57,000, 63,000, 152,000, 121,000. Anyway, all the way up to this 15th transaction, which is June 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So the point is, there's over $1.5 million. That's 92,000 on June 22nd. $1.5 million of dev fees and marketing that was moved, and then it stopped. So what I'm getting at is, whoever owns this contract, because it's locked into the contract, there will always be a decent amount of money to support whatever this is meant to be. Again, I don't know who owns it. No one has given us full transparency or disclosure. We just have Forex saying that he gave them the BB, but we don't have any validation or anything from BB. And no one's moved this money. So I know if it was me personally, I would have moved the money out of a contract if I was a former partner of somebody. I told you guys this before. If I quit a company or I was parted ways, even if it was cordial, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take my severance package and make sure that I have total control. And whoever owns these keys just doesn't care, because it's been sitting in here now over 1.5 years almost. And that's $2.12 million. That's pretty impressive. So I guess they either don't care or whatever the other potential could be. But what I'm getting at is, this is money that could be used to develop the drip garden or build something on top of it or whatever. So remember, this contract is here, and the way the garden works is it's LPs in, LPs out. So it has a sustainability factor, and it also has the increasing novelty for future capital. Now, again, potentially it could break once you get past the 18 decimal places. This is me speculating. I'm not a developer. I don't know. But as plants keep getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, there has to be a point where The number just can't be calculated anymore, I'd imagine. But until then, who knows? There could be something to play here. So again, TLDR, the Garden's still here. It's not doing anything because it's tied to the value of drip. Drip is not appreciated that much. It's still depreciating, even though we had that 200 to 300% price pump from 1 cent up to about 3 cents. But we won't see that much price appreciation over on the Drip Garden side due to it being tied to BUSD. So it's a double-edged sword. It goes down slow and it goes up slow because of that BUSD pairing. All right, hopefully that gave you guys some insight on the Garden, and hopefully it answered whatever questions you thought you had, or maybe you have. If it did, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. Until next time, Lift Daily.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.